Hello Steelers, welcome to another bench report, hobby update. Another week has gone by as always. This time we are just coming onto a bank holiday. This is the bank holiday weekend, so 3 days of lie-ins and no work for me, so that's nice. Always nice to look forward to. I've got a few things I want to get painted over this weekend. I'll come back to those in a second, but I do actually have I've been painting some other bits and pieces. Well, I've only really been concentrating on one thing this week. I kind of wanted a bit of a break from all the frills on the Napoleonic stuff and all the cross braces and things, and I just turned back to the NVA, the People's Army of Vietnam, Pavan from these are the 3D breed ones that I got from various people, friends of the channel, and also from eBay as well. In fact, actually, I've gone back and I've ordered a few more as well, because I only had about 50 odd or so of these. But I just basically finished them off. So I did the last tranche of them now, and you should be able to see soon on the screen, if not now, the rest of them as well. So they're all together now. I've done quite a lot of them. These are obviously for Charlie Don't Surf, so I've done quite a few as big men on bigger bases, individual bases, and also I've mixed up the bases with 2s and 3s as well. And I just thought, let's get them done, draw a line under them. They've been sat there for months now, looking at me, basically just waiting for me to paint them. So I finished those off. In other painting news, I almost finished. I was so close to finishing the US Marine Corps as well, which I also got. They're just over on the painting desk at the moment. They just need highlighting and finally basing and things like that. So I'm going to do those probably over this weekend when I get a chance. It's not going to take a long time, but it's one of those things where I just need to sit down and do them. But that will be all of those done. And as I say, I have got another load of these on the way to me as well from Hoplite Miniatures, I think it's called, on eBay. They just print them to order, so I'm looking forward to getting those at some point in the future, and then I will be putting those together, and hopefully, I think at the moment, I worked it out, I've got at least one platoon of NVA and also probably about a platoon of USMC as well. So what I need is about 2/3 of each again. And I'm going to get some VC as well from Hoplite as well. So I'm going to mix it up. That's, as I said, that was kind of like going to be my long-term project for this year, I guess. So it's nice to see it slowly coming together. I'm just going to buy in bits and pieces as I need to. I did get those Peter Pig figures the other week. I just don't think they're going to work. I think they're just a little bit too small. I'm still going to paint up what I've got. And then just see how they look on the tabletop once they're all based and they're mixed in with the other stuff. There might not be too much of a difference, but there might be, so I'm not sure how to deal with those yet. But we'll have a look. That's something that is something in the future. In the post, had a couple of things come through the post. First of all, some more 15mm Napoleonics came through from Magister Militum. These were quickly delivered. What I've done is, I mentioned this before, I got the Essex Miniatures Commanders. Those are here, they're still unpainted at this point. But I got 3 packs of Magister Militum ones. I can't remember exactly which ones I got, but I basically got French Commanders, British Commanders as well. I think I got Napoleon and I think I got Wellington. You've got to, haven't you? Because what I want to do is I want to see how these look compared to the epic scale 15mm stuff. When these are individually based, they'll look quite nice. So they'll work really nicely as Brigadiers. That's for the long-term project of GDA2, which I don't see it happening anytime soon because it's a slow process to get those epic figures painted. I am still working on them, and I will eventually get there at some point in the future. The other thing I got as well in the post here is Paul over at Sabotaged bullied me into buying a load of his Dutch houses. He said I've got to give them a good review, so here's a good review of them. They're good. I'm only joking. These are the 15mm Dutch houses. Let me just get some of these out. So these are absolutely fantastic. These are the Arnhem houses that the two fat lardies had him working on for their stuff at the Hartenstein Hotel. So I don't know how many there is in the range, but he sent me 6 here. So I'm just showing you these ones. So one with a broken roof. Here's another smaller one as well. A couple more nicer houses. The beautiful detail on these, they're really nice. I mean, if you're looking for 15mm stuff for Arnhem, for Holland, Paul is your person to go to. Just go, I think they're probably on the website. incredibly quick as well. Like literally we talked about it one evening and they had arrived not the next morning but the morning after, and that was after he couldn't get to the post that day. So they are he's incredibly quick. Oh yeah, there's a little veranda there for one of the buildings. Can't remember which one it is, maybe this one here I think has a little veranda on the front, and also a couple of these verandas as well, glass houses, which you can kind of put on anywhere onto these buildings if you wanted to, you know, that kind of thing, just to change them up a little bit. So you could buy the same one with a couple of different bits and pieces. He also sent as well, he's just released these onto his website. These are 15mm railings. In Arnhem and Belgium, they're more likely to have railings and that kind of thing. There's these kind of fences than they are wooden fences or even brick walls. So this is why he's put these together with these. So what I'm going to do is, this is a project in itself. I'm going to get these based, painted up, and then put together for potential Arnhem games in the future. I've already got some British paras. I've got a load of British paras anyway. Obviously I've got tons of Germans, so I don't really need any more figures for that. It's just nice to have the stuff. And even though all people seem to think that I am the fountain of all knowledge when it comes to Lardy release dates, Nick has been working on the Arnhem Handbook for a long time, the Arnhem campaign handbook. So when that comes out, I should at least be ready to be able to play some of those games with that stuff as well. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to painting those. They'll be fun to paint. I always enjoy painting a bit of terrain. It's always good stuff, really. The other thing that I got, it wasn't in the post, but Dex gifted me, or gave me, gifted is the word they could use these days, 37mm Japanese anti-tank gun. I think this is a Battlefront one. I can't remember what Dex said, but I think it is. Well, so thanks for that, Dex, if you're watching. The other thing, the other exciting thing that came through was I was chatting to Rich from Two Fat Lardies the other day. I mentioned that I didn't have a review copy of the Far East Handbook yet, and he sent me one, very kindly sent me one. So I do actually have it in PDF at this point. I've been reading it for the last few days, and I can tell you straight away it is really, really good. You will not regret buying it if you want to go in. It's currently on pre-order, ready for release on the 13th of this month, I believe, in time for Partisan. So definitely, you know, if you're looking for doing some jungle fighting or Far East type stuff, it doesn't always have to be jungle. It's absolutely packed full of rules. It's brilliant. There is so much thought that's gone into it. On the same theme, I'm going to have a chat with Rich, live chat on Wednesday night as well. It's either 7 or 7:30. I can't remember which one I said to him, but I'll put a thing up anyway on the channel saying when it's going to be. So just look in the live tab. If you miss it, you can come back and you can watch it on the if you go to the channel, you'll see there's a live tab. Click on that and you'll find the chat there. But come along, we're going to be talking about game design and I think how he comes up with some of the rules for some of the stuff in the Far East Handbook as well. So looking forward to that. I know Rich did a live chat last week on Tuesday, answering a lot of questions. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day it was, answering a lot of questions from viewers. Didn't ask mine, which is why has it taken so long, but you know, you can't have everything, I guess. And also, as with the release of the Far East Handbook, I've been thinking about what to do for it as well. I mean, I've already got quite a bit of jungle terrain tutorials on the video on the channel elsewhere. I'll put a link for at least one of them in for making jungle trees in the description down below. But also I was thinking about other things, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the rules from the new book and do a few battle reports using those rules just to see how they work, and also some of the different forces from the lists as well, just to see how they work on the table. First thing I was thinking about was perhaps using the Hong Kong volunteer units, because they're very interesting. A lot of those were ex-First World War soldiers, bank clerks and things like that basically drew together and fought on the defence of Hong Kong, and you know, were finally overcome by the Japanese on the 25th of December 1941. So I think that would be quite an interesting fight, actually. I've just got to think about it a little bit more and just how I'm going to set it up, but I'm wanting to do that. So look out for that in the next, I'm assuming next few weeks. That's my plan, is to get some of that stuff out for you. The other thing as well, just to talk about what we played this week. I played a solo game of Fire in the Sky. I mentioned it last week in the hobby update. This is from Mark Fastoso and the Mark's Games Room. I actually ended up playing the game. Really good, really enjoyed it. I'm going to take it down to the club this week with me and introduce a few of the people down at the club to it, because they were all interested. So we're going to play that. Really enjoyed it, but I've also recorded it as a battle report, so that'll be coming out soon. It might get pushed back because of the Far East Handbook being released, so it might get pushed back a little bit further, but it'll be out soon. It's recorded, waiting on the channel to go out. The other thing that we played as well on Thursday was our second scenario of the Malaya 1942 Chain of Command pint-sized campaign. It was me against Dex again. He was Japanese, as before. I was the Australians defending. This is the second scenario. Basically, he'd push me back. It was the probe scenario. He'd push me back into the jungle, and all he had to do was just get one unit off the table edge. Now, it was going really well, first of all, because I had a Lanchester armoured car. He'd got a Hago Type 95 tank. He brought that out. He took about 4 or 5 shots at the Lanchester, and he just kept bouncing off. It did nothing. Meanwhile, I was using the twin Vickers on the Lanchester to grind up his soldiers in the jungle, and then I brought out my boys to try and take out his tank. Then he deployed his mortar squad to take out the boys, which they did. However, the Lanchester turned its twins Vickers on those and absolutely ground them up like mincemeat. I think it was something like 21 casualties by the end of the game. However, in an absolutely amazing move, I took my eye off the ball, and he used a chain of command point to move forward one of his jumping off points. So I pushed that forward into the jungle, right on my right flank, where I just could not get to because I'd started to advance in on one of his sections that was suffering badly from the fire from the Lanchester. He then pushed it even further using the ruse, which is a support option, which means you can either deploy far from your jumping off point, or you can move the jumping off point another, I think it's 12 or 18 inches, I can't remember which. He pushed that right up onto my flank. He was able to deploy literally on the edge of the table, and I just had I can't do any more against this. Absolute brilliance, tactical brilliance it was. It was using the Japanese exactly how they should be used, and he was able, well, if I'd have stayed on the table for another turn, he would have been able to just shoot me up and cause more casualties. So I thought, no, we're quitting here. This is it, I'm withdrawing. So it was another loss for me, 2 losses in a row, which I fully expect at this point anyway in this campaign. But really good fun, and a really, really good, worthy opponent to play against as well. Right. Even though that's it, I think, yeah, there's not much else to say there really. I'll leave it at that for today, and I'll see you in the next hobby update next week. Don't forget, obviously, if you're buying anything from Warlord, do check out the affiliate link. It's down below. It does help out the channel. Any money that goes through there comes back to me and goes back into the channel for helping making videos. And as I say, I'll see you in the next Storm of Steel video.